right, everybody, welcome back. It's the first time back here. We're here with Randy Edmonds, and we're here to talk about the Southeast Gassers, brought to you by the Shift Points YouTube channel. So, man, it's been it feels like forever since we talked last. We've talked a few times, but the first time in a while since we've sat down here. And I can imagine that this off-season has brought more changes to the Southeast Gassers than probably any other off-season before.
Oh, most definitely. Definitely. Yeah, a lot has went on since Shady Side.
Well, and because of that, that's why we wanted to get in here with you guys this week and kind of bring you guys up to speed on a few different things, the sale of the organization and some new sponsors you guys got coming in, some scheduling and stuff like that. We just wanted to kind of bring you guys up to speed on all of that. And then I'm just going to let Randy kick it off here. So sometime in December, a post goes out. Quayne puts up a post on Facebook that the Southeast Gassers have sold, and it kind of exploded. Everybody was talking about it. So let's talk about it a little bit.
Well, it really started back before the season ended. There was some talks going on about about Quayne wanting to step back.
Right.
And he's Quayne's been doing this for 12 years. And he'll always be the founder of it.
Of course.
Quayne got this started. All of us the SEGA family wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for Quayne stock.
Yeah.
So a lot has came on, from what he started. And then he just kind of, I guess, before the Gulfport race, it kind of got a little more serious, and then several people were talking back and forth. A lot of people calling and asking me if I'd stay if they bought it, and back and forth there, and it came down to the Shady Side race. There was one individual that we thought was probably going to do it, and then he second thoughts, backed out. Then there was another group. It was just kind of crazy from day to day what was going on and what Quayne was telling me was going on, and other people calling and talking to me and stuff. And then, like on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I was there at the house and got a phone call from Leslie Horne. And he said, I think I'm gonna go for this. He said, are you with me on this? And so I said, we talked a little bit, and I said, yeah, I'm with you. And Rocky Platt, conference call, Rocky was on the phone also, and Rocky was there with us and stuff. So we said, yeah, we're in.
Right.
So.
And if you don't know, Leslie is the driver of the 55 Chick Magnet. If you guys have watched our video, the last video when we went down there, we interviewed Leslie, and I just think having one of the racers, Quayne was a racer too, right? I mean, he was right there racing, and having Leslie step in, I think that's a big deal.
Well, and all the other groups that I was talking about were racers too.
Right.
They were involved in Southeast Gassers also.
Right.
And the main thing was that no one really wanted it to go in the wrong direction.
Of course.
Everybody wanted to keep it, the core of it like it is, but, it does need to step up. It needs to go to a next level to continue going, and we feel that we're going to be able to take it to those next levels and stuff. So I say, Leslie and Rocky and I were talking on Wednesday. On Saturday evening after Thanksgiving, he called me and he said, hey, buddy, he said, we've done it, he said, I hope you're ready. So it's just been wide open ever since then, a lot of things going on, a lot of telephone calls and stuff. I guess the next thing after that was we had some talks about what we were going to do. Our tech team, Dallas and Robert Peffley, had decided that they wanted to step back. I don't really understand how in the world Robert did what he did anyway.
Right.
With all the kids and everything they got going on and racing and running two businesses and stuff, So they decided they wanted to step back, and his father did the same thing. So that left us with looking for someone to do tech. So we reached out to Sam Gable. Sammy, as everyone knows him. He drives a Moonshot AFX car.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of racing background behind him. His father was a racer. He's done a lot of different racing himself, Bonneville Salt Flat stuffs and things like that. Very knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable. And he agreed to come on board. And then John Leddick, he He comes to the track with Hales Bell's car, Matthew Miller, but he's also building a 57 Chevy himself.
Okay.
And very well known, super guy, very, very intelligent guy. He Air Force, retired from the Air Force. So he is, I guess, technical inspector. Sammy's a technical director.
Okay, gotcha.
And so he is rewriting the rules. I mean, not say per se changing the rules, but he is just putting them in a format to where they're easier to find things, easier to go where you're looking without having to look through page after page.
Right. Man, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, he's Air Force, and that's what his job was in Air Force, is doing manuals.
Perfect.
so he is doing a jam-up job. You know, if anyone wants to go online and look, he's the Superstock rules are posted. He has got those done. And we just were on a conference call earlier today on the gas rules.
Okay.
So we got a lot ironed out on those today. They should be out midweek or a little after. So if you want to go to southeastgassers.com, it's on there, and take a look at it. But they're doing a great job on that.
Great, that's good. Yeah, like I said, that makes just having stuff formatted to you can find stuff. Man, it makes such a big difference when you're trying to, especially if you're new to it and you're trying to get into something. Yeah, makes a big difference.
And that's something else. The tech department is going to the next level this year. There's going to be more tech going on than it ever has. Checklist. I don't know if you remember back in the day in IHRA where everybody had the tech stickers on their car where they were lapped over, and you'd had, say, 1970 and 71, 72 or whatever, where you had met the rules for those years.
I don't remember that, but no, that's...
Well, you probably wasn't here in 70.
No. That's a couple decades before I was.
But anyway, we're doing something like that.
Okay.
You know, I mean, our first sticker will be 2024.
Okay.
And then, you know, of course, next year they'll go on up.
Right.
And when you meet everything, you get a sticker.
Okay, gotcha.
And, you know, things like that. Got a checklist. Everything has to be checked off before you get a sticker.
Okay.
And, you know, just a couple things like that are going to be changed. More eyes are going to be looking at Chris Smith, our scale guy. He's going to be more involved with every race tech details and stuff, checking heights at the scales, and then also on Fridays he'll be assisting those guys, and so like I say, we're gonna have more eyes on the cars than has ever been on the cars.
Okay, that's probably a good thing.
Oh, it is. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, things get overlooked and stuff, and a lot of period correctness stuff's going to be looked at this year.
Really?
You know, I mean, stuff that has been kind of overlooked, the wrong gauges, the wrong tacks, you know, things of that nature. You know, not painting your billet aluminum parts and things like that.
Okay.
You know, so just a heads up. You know, look at your stuff. You know, everybody knows what they need to do, and it just gets overlooked. You know, you're trying to get everything done, and you know, you don't paint something that should have been painted or things like that.
Right.
But you know, a lot of stuff like that's going to be going on. But I think it's going to be really good. You know, all of our, other than, you know, they're tech guys that decided to step back. Everybody else is coming back, and we're adding a couple too.
Okay, cool.
Tom White, he's helping us. He's staying with us, and he's going to be pulling the scales to the track and helping us on multiple other things.
I'll tell you, Tom, I don't know how he does everything he does, and everything that we put up on Instagram or whatever, he's probably the first or second one to like it every post.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing how on top of that, and he knows what all is going on everywhere. We appreciate it, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, Tom's a good one. He's Tommy's a really good guy. He is a big part of Southeast Gas.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess, you know, we kind of got Sammy and John in there before we went to the PRI show. So that's why I went ahead and threw them in there. But going to the PRI show, Bucky, my brother Bucky, and myself, and then Rocky and Ricky Shackelford went, and Leslie. And when we got there...
so just quickly, just in case if you're watching this, you don't know what PRI is. The performance racing industry, they put on a show in Indianapolis every year, usually the first, second week of December. And I'll tell you, me and Dad went not this year but last, and it's the craziest thing. If you like speed parts and cars and racing, and anybody in the racing industry, drivers, whatever, you need to figure out a way to go, because I'll tell you, it'll absolutely blow your mind.
It's amazing. I mean, it's you'll be standing there, and then all of a sudden John Force is standing right beside you. Or I mean, just any of them are right there, and they're just like this. I mean, they're available and talking to you. I mean, people go to autograph sections. They need to go to PRI.
Exactly.
I mean, they have events and things like that there and stuff. So but Clay Milliken, we got introduced to Clay Milliken when we first got there.
I always thought Clay, he seems like just the coolest, level-headed dude that you could meet.
Well, and I've said it before, that just in watching his interviews, I could talk to this guy. Mm-hmm. Well, you can. You can. I mean, he's just like you and I. I mean, he got us set up with some people. Larry Cummins got that all set up. He and Larry Cummins are really good friends, and he got that all set up. He was actually waiting for us before I could get my tickets and get in. They were calling.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and but anyway, we got in and met them at the Moser engineering booth, and got us set up with different people to talk to from there. It's already out, but everything's not ironed out yet. It kind of got put out prematurely on PowerTube TV. Yep. PowerTube TV, everything's looking like it's going to be a go with us. But still a couple things to iron out on that. If you're not familiar with PowerTube TV, Google it, look it up. You can get an app on your phone, on your Roku, on your smart TV. Matter of fact, there's smart TVs coming out now that's already got the app on them for cool. PowerTube TV. Okay. If you're not familiar with it, the guys that are doing it they're the ones that did Pink's All Out, Pastime. And
Pastime. Oh, I forgot about Pastime. Used to watch that all the time. That was a good one.
It is a good one, because you sit there and guess yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Stuff, But they, Super Guys, met both the guys that are running this deal, and it's I think it's going to be really good for this type of drag racing, and for all these tracks we go to. Okay. I think it's going to be amazing for these tracks that we go to.
Full-blown coverage for them.
Yeah. And it's...
Because, it is full-blown coverage. That's what you guys are getting. You're getting exactly right. Multiple camera angles, basically a production team that's going to do it for you. That's super cool. They are doing new episodes of Pink's. Really?
And Pastime. Okay. Coming in 24.
Okay.
So that's some new stuff coming. You can go back and watch all the old ones.
All the old ones too.
On there too. So it's a really good deal.
Have to do that.
They'll have starting line cameras, 330 cameras, finish line cameras. Not sure on everything, but I'm sure we'll have those three. So I'll go ahead and mention those. Mm-hmm. David Lancaster is coming back to announce. Mm-hmm. David was gone for last year, but he's coming back. He'll be a big asset to us, because David's got a lot of knowledge of all of our guys and everything. Right. And Ricky Shackelford filled in last year, done an absolute fabulous job on it, and we really appreciate what Ricky did for us last year. And Ricky will be there some on Friday nights this year. Okay. And maybe if David can't make it because of his job or whatever, he'll be filling in on Saturdays too, I guess. But part of the TV deal, David will be on it, and then it won't be live. Mm-hmm. It won't be for a few weeks, kind of like some of the other drag racing stuff you see on TV. Right. It'll be taped, and then
kind of how they do the pro mod stuff with NHRA.
Yeah. They will edit it and voiceover, whatever they need to do to make it a good production.
Gotcha.
And then it'll start coming out. Probably by the time we get to the next race, the other race will be out. Okay. So, gotcha. So it's going to be some really good stuff. I think we're looking forward to it. Very expensive. Mm-hmm. Very expensive. So if we need more sponsors. So
right.
So I mean, we have Summit has come back on board as our biggest sponsor so far. They've been with us for years. Really thankful for Summit and all they do for us. G-Force and Roby Merrick, they do an absolutely wonderful job. Roby has actually changed our deal. Roby comes to the track.
Yeah.
He works on the transmissions right there. I mean, he's one of a kind.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
Yeah, you cannot beat something like that.
Yeah.
A company that's willing to put somebody right there to help you a day of, man, that's great.
Yeah, and the transmission knowledge is just beyond compare, with Roby. Molly has came back on board with us.
Okay.
Ram Clutch back on board again this year. Moser Engineering is coming on board. Mickey Thompson Tires coming on board. Don Baskins Trucking's coming back this year.
Okay.
Gasser Gear, Southeast Gasser's Gear, Stephen Smith and Holly are coming on board to help with everything this year.
Okay.
So that's big for us too. And then also Knoxville Dragway is the first one that stepped up and said that they will help on the TV deal, because this is really going to be a plus for all the drag strips.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, they're going to get exposure not just for the weekend we're there. It's going to be on. It's going to be out there for years to come.
As long as it's around. Yeah, exactly.
So, and you never know what might happen. I was thinking of this earlier today that these production guys get there and they do their deal and they like what they see. They might approach the track owners and say, "Hey, let's do a pinks here."
Right. That's what I just started saying. You can do pinks or the pastime or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, all these facilities you guys go to are more than capable and set up to do something like that. And yeah, like you said, it's going to open a lot of doors.
Yeah, it's going to be a real deal, and looking forward to this year. Brainerd is our first track that we'll be going to in Ringgold, Georgia, but I'll come back to it in a minute. But I want to go to Shady Side. Shady Side is they're up in their game. They're up in their game big time. They're working on a lot of stuff down there. I know it got a little frustrating with all the people that was there. But they are putting new seating in. It's going to be really good. Their seating is. I need to find out exactly where they're at. Maybe get some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we may do another one of these before
fine.
Brainerd or
Always,
something. And touch on some things about Brainerd, and then Shady Side will be our second race. So we'll see what's going on there and everything and stuff. But they're getting some new track equipment, some. Scrapers and things like that down there at Shady Side.
Cool.
So things is looking up for Shady Side. They're extending the track a little bit up at the end. Just doing different things there too. But going back to, I know most of you know that Hot Wheels have did 5 items now with Southeast Gassers on the cars. It's not really our cars. It's just a Hot Wheels that meets our period correctness with a Southeast Gasser sticker on it.
Okay,
They did 3 Nova wagons. They did a Nova, and they did a ramp truck with, I think it's an AFX comment on it.
Okay, gotcha.
And but there was some conversations with them in the last few days.
Because that's I don't know if everybody realized, that's like a big deal. So
you
guys have access to the Hot Wheels logo, they have access to y'all's logo, and then you guys are only one of just a handful of people that have that same level of access.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And Brendan Vituski is he is our contact there, and he and Steven are friends, and they have reached out and probably looking like that they're going to be doing some more Hot Wheels cars.
Okay.
Not sure, what's going to go on there. Probably not in 24, maybe in 25.
Okay.
But that's something that's going to go on again too. We feel sure of.
They need, my opinion here, they really need to pick some of the cars that you guys have and make full on ones like Leslie's cars.
Yeah.
Take them and make them look like them, have a chick magnet or hoop. That would be.
Yeah.
I think those things would sell like hotcakes.
They would. They would.
That would be really cool.
They definitely would. But going back to our first race of the year, raced at Brainerd Motorsports Park before.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 16 was the last time there. Really good facility, a lot of interest in that track. I've probably heard more about wanting us to come back to that track than any other track since I've been involved with it.
There was a lot of people excited. When you guys put out the schedule, I was looking through comments and stuff. People are really excited about that.
And so we're looking forward to it. We think, it's far enough west that we'll probably pull some people out of Arkansas and Missouri and stuff. Met a couple of guys at PRI that are from Missouri and said, he said, hey, we'll make that race.
Cool.
Never been to one before.
Really? Okay.
They just came up and started talking because they saw the Southeast Gassers logo on the shirt. But, things like that, there's some other stuff going on. I have been really amazed at the different tracks that have reached out. Quain's got a list of tracks that would really like to have us come there. But I've had 3 tracks, that's reached out to me since this started.
Oh, really?
And Leslie's had others reach to him, and I'm sure probably Rocky has too. So we've got a lot going on there. We're at 10 races. Not that I want to do that or we really could do that. 14 or 15 wouldn't be out of the question.
Right, yeah, you could do it.
We could do that many, but I don't think that it's the right thing to do for Southeast Gassers at this point.
Right.
But, we like the smaller tracks. It fits more of what we're doing.
Right, of course, yeah.
And everything. But Brainerd has, in the past, they had a really good crowd there in 16. I think it was maybe the record crowd at around that time.
Okay.
In the history of Southeast Gassers. Of course, that's been surpassed since then. But it's really looking good on going there.
And this has been deemed the Rumble in Ringgold, right?
The Rumble.
I saw the poster Steven put up last night and just absolutely knocked it out of the park again.
Oh, didn't he?
Yeah, man, it looks so good. Me and Dad were talking about it earlier today. I was like, they just somehow get better. Every one he puts out, it just gets better.
He put a lot of time into this one. We'd been talking back and forth a little bit while he's been working on it there, and he's put a lot of time into it. But he always does.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the Southern Nationals.
Okay.
Yeah. Rumble in Ringo.
Rumble in Ringo.
March 22nd, 23rd. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's $35 for a weekend pass, $20 for Friday, $25 for Saturday to get in. Qualifying at 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's test and tune. Fan greeting or whatever, on Friday night. Yeah, so it'll be a good deal. It'll be a really good deal. Everybody be ready to go, from sitting in.
For sure. I started to say March or that time of March, they're going to be itching to get out and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a really good deal. And then, looking on forward as
I've got the rest of the schedule pulled up here too. We were going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, this is there you go. I'll pull it and set it there in front of you.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we'll be going to Shelby, Shadyside. That's always a big event with new seating and everything there. Everyone's going to come out and look at that, so you better get there early.
Get there early. If it's anything like the last one year, get there.
But the seating's going to be great.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be pleased with the seating there and everything. And then after that, that's on April 13th, and then May 4th we'll be at Xenia, Ohio at Killcare Dragway. That's always a really good one. Good time to go up there. Ohio fans, that's Gasser country up there.
Right.
Ohio George just lived right down the street.
We got our Ohio George poster put up.
And he just lived right down the street, not far at all from there.
Really?
His shop's still there and everything.
Okay.
Actually, that came from his shop while we were up there last time.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And so it's a good time up there. Like I say, the fans just they're great. They're very thankful for us coming.
Right.
I probably get more fans come up to me and say thank you for coming there than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll go to Knoxville, go over to Wes Clapp's place. We always have a good crowd there. We've got a lot of return fans at Knoxville. You see the same people, and they come up and talk to you and everything at Knoxville. And then we're going to Union, South Carolina.
I've heard this is a really nice facility.
It is.
Down there.
It is. Tony Brown is the manager down there. And it's a really good place. It's where Still in Motion has been for the past several years.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so this will actually be the first time we've had a points meet there.
There, okay.
The Southeast Gassers have went there during Still in Motion before, and and I've been there to that also. So it's a good show down there. Then that's on June 22nd. Then July the 20th, we'll be in London, Kentucky, back at Craig Boone's track.
Okay.
And that's right in the middle of the Daniel Boone National Forest. I mean, you're driving through the forest, and all of a sudden you're at the drag strip. You start seeing a couple of houses, and then next thing you know, you're at one of the nicest drag strips we go to.
That's cool. That's really neat.
It's an eighth and or a quarter.
Yeah.
There, so it's a really nice place. Looking for a big turnout there. All right, then on August 17th, we're going back to Mooresville. First time we've been to Mooresville in 3 years, I think. 3 years. I think 20 was the last time we were there.
Okay.
New owners there. Looking forward to that. We've got a lot of support down in that area. We have several drivers that's down that way, and some of our sponsors are from down that way too.
Of course.
And so we're really looking forward to that. And then we go back to Wes Clapp's again.
Yep.
To
double up in Knoxville, yeah.
Double up at Knoxville. And then we'll go to Gulfport, Mississippi. That's the same weekend of Cruising the Coast that we'll be there. It's actually the end of the week.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're not on the list with Cruising the Coast or anything. It's just we're there when they're there.
Gotcha. Understood.
And so we had our second biggest crowd ever there last year, and it is a good one to go to. I mean, I know it's a long ways. It's a long drive for me, but the parking lot was like Pigeon Forge at the Rod Run. I mean, it was just, and I guess we were in the semifinals, and I look up. And coming in, their cars lined up, still coming in. And
Really?
We're going into the semifinals.
Wow.
And had the biggest crowd we've ever had on Friday night there.
Okay.
And so we're looking for it to be bigger and better this year. Britt Cummins, Larry's son, is the owner there, and with some partners. And so they're going to go all out. It'll be a really good one.
That'd be cool.
And then back to Shelby again, back to Shadyside for the finals.
Yep, finished up in Shadyside. That's good.
But another thing that I've been really surprised is how many new cars are being built.
Okay, really?
I have been really amazed that all the people have reached out to me building new cars.
Cool. Across all classes?
Yes.
Okay.
But mostly right now it's been A-gas.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. We've got a 64 Fairlane coming out of Louisiana. We've got a Willis coming out of Alabama. We've got a Willis coming out of South Carolina. We got a Corvette coming out of Florida.
Okay.
I think, and I'm probably missing one or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we've got a 38 Chevrolet, I think it is, coming out of Arkansas for B-gas.
Okay.
We've got a 67 Falcon coming out of Florida for probably B-gas.
Okay.
And so it's just continues to grow. It just continues to grow.
That's good to know.
We've got several that haven't raced in a few years coming back.
Okay.
Just saw something the other day where Sonny Burr's saying he's coming back some, and it'll be good to see Sonny out there again. So we've got some that haven't raced with us in many years that's that's reached out saying that they're probably coming back.
Okay.
So
it's going to be 2024. Going to be a big year.
It could be the biggest ever for sure.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it. Just like I say, we got everybody coming back in our staff. Added Sammy and John in. Angela in the tower, which she's the heart and soul of this deal. And got, just like I say, we've got David Lancaster coming back. So it's going to be a good year. It's going to be. I feel like that this could be the best ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's going to be great. That's good to see. Good to see. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as far as I know, we're kind of planning, at least like I said, as far as I know, we're going to kind of try and still do this. After each race, we'll try and get together and talk you guys through kind of what went on. And with Randy in his position, he's going to be able to kind of give us the behind the scenes on stuff sometimes. So it'll be really great. And like you mentioned earlier, we may, depending on kind of what comes out and everything, we'll try and get together maybe one more time before Georgia comes up here and we'll just kind of keep everybody in the loop on it. So yeah.
There's some things that I didn't really need to talk about right now. That we'll talk about later. There's several different things that's going to change things as far as how we do things and stuff. Not as far as well, I guess I could say as far as winter payouts and things, they're going up.
Okay, good.
They're going up. Superstock's never been paid. They'll be paid this year.
Great.
So, the winner's purse is going up quite a bit.
Okay.
So from what it has been, and the championship fund for next year, we feel like that it's going to look a lot better.
Okay.
The contingency monies, we've already got some more contingency monies out there that's stepped up. And things are going to happen with that. Like I say, I don't really want to reveal any of that right yet.
Yeah.
But, one that I had just thought about that I didn't mention is Weldon Pumps.
Okay.
Weldon Pumps is coming on board. They're coming on board in a contingency deal there. And so Mickey Thompson's going to be doing some help on that. So it's going to all be good.
Good.
It's just looking forward to it, and I think everybody's going to be surprised at what a year we're going to have.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Like I said, knowing everything that's kind of happening here, it's super cool to see it and see that it's in good hands, and I think everybody's going to be really excited with what they see this year.
And with the TV deal, it opens it up for all of our guys to go out and pursue sponsorship for their cars.
Exactly.
Right. And stuff. So, it gives them exposure. It gives anybody exposure out there, that wants to put their name on the side of somebody's car.
Of course. Yeah, and I'll if anybody that's watching this, if you guys are interested in sponsoring things like that, I always tag Randy in the post.
Yes.
You can always reach out to him directly. Anybody that'd be interested in doing something like that, working with him on the TV deal or anything like that, please reach out to him. They're always looking for him, and it'll always make things a little easier on everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Looking at camera sponsorships, lane sponsorships, Winter Circle sponsorships, things like that, and it all adds up.
Of course.
To where as the more we get there, the more we can take care of the drivers.
Right.
And take care of the winners and everything, So it's just like a drag strip, A drag strip's nothing without their drivers or their race cars, And Southeast Gassers is nothing without these guys.
Exactly.
And I've said it quite often that, all you fans and stuff don't come to sit in the stands to look at me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they come to hear these high
ribbon. They come to Shift Points to look at you, Randy.
But they come to hear these engine turn high RPMs and leave on the back wheels and really good close racing like you see nowhere else.
I absolutely believe that for sure. These as close as these finals come down, I saw that Leslie's been sharing. I guess he's been waxing nostalgia, and now he's kind of been putting up videos a bunch lately. And it seems like every one of them, no matter what, the car in the next lane is finishing in the same frame. You know what I mean? They're right there every single time. It's crazy.
Yeah, unless somebody messes up, gets crossed up, and has to get out of it, misses a gear or something like that, you know, or blows the tires off of it or something, you know, cuts a really bad light,
right?
You know, but it's amazing at some of the lights these guys cut too. You know, I mean, you know, you guys don't ever see that. You don't see what their times are, and I don't see it a whole lot unless somebody comes up and shares a ticket with me or something, you know.
Right.
But you know, I mean, if I was in the tower or something, I could see it, but that's we've got some really talented drivers.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're amazingly talented drivers, and it's a whole lot harder than people think it is. I mean, you know, we've had some really good professional drivers that have thought that they were just going to come in here and you know, show us something, you know, and then they figure out that, you know, well, it's not that easy.
Right.
You know? I don't want to call any names or anything, but there's a guy a few years ago bought one of these cars, and he is a name that y'all all know in NHRA. And he went out with that car and made a few hits, called Quayne up and said, I had to eat crow. He said it was a very humbling experience.
Yeah, it would be. It has to be.
And he's never showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's never showed up to race with us. So, yeah, it's good stuff. You know, I mean, it's addicting. You know, whether you're a fan, whether you're a driver, or whatever. You know, once you go to one of these things, you're hooked. Your dad's what happened to me. You know, he called me up and said, "You got to go to one of these things."
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, just almost everybody that we've interviewed, the story is really similar. We'd heard about it, we went to one, we had to do it, or we went to this one and we went to the next one and we said we got to do this. You know, and it's it's a very addicting thing. So.
Yeah, if Quayne hadn't hooked me, I would probably ended up with one too.
Right.
You know, I mean, if after going to work for him, it didn't make any sense for me to have one. But but I would have probably ended up with something if I hadn't went to work for Quayne.
Right. Well, it's not too late.
5 years ago.
It's not too late. You can still get one and do it.
You can't. You can't. It's hard to pull a ratchet with a phone in one hand.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I was just, you know, we were talking earlier. I was on the phone at 7 o'clock this morning, a couple minutes after 7, and been on the phone all day long. You know, I mean, and that's the way it is. You know, just something funny. Tara, my wife, calls me a chain phoner. You know, it's just like a chain smoker lighting a cigarette off another one. You know,
right into the next one. That's but that's, like I said, that's exciting because with you having conversations like that means there's a lot of people wanting to have a conversation. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you know, I mean, I've got 2 or 3 calls to make as soon as I leave here.
As soon as you leave.
where people were calling where I were on conference calls today. You know, I got to call them back and stuff. So, but you know, it's all good. You know, I mean, you know me, your dad knows me. You know, I'm a talker. Don't quite talk as much as Bucky, my brother, but I'm a close second.
A close second. Yeah. Well, all right then. Well, so you happy with the day?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Right. It's been good.
That's a good deal, man. Yeah. We really appreciate everybody that's coming here, and I say it every time, and I'll keep saying it, man. We appreciate Randy letting us be a part of this and coming here and talking to us and being on the Shift Points YouTube channel with us. And if you guys found us because of this, we appreciate you guys being here, and we hope that you'll stick with us and subscribe and follow us and check out our social media and stuff. We'll as close as some of these races are, we'll probably be at some this year. So we'll definitely do our best to do that, and then we'll just keep on coming in here and talking about it and enjoy it every time. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll see you probably before Georgia, but if not, right after.
All right. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you. See you guys.
See you.